Let's bring in our next guest, Ken Neufeld. Ken, hello. How are you, sir? Ken, real estate agent around town. How long have you been doing real estate?
35 years.
Here in Fresno?
Yes.
35 years ago. What year would that have been? 1980?
1980.
1980 you started. Things have changed quite a bit since then, I would imagine.
They certainly have. 1980, we had no computers, no fax machines.
How would you do it?
No cell phones.
Yeah. Was it easier then or harder then?
The same principles applied, except it was more manual work. We had the MLS book as opposed to the computer that came out every 2 weeks.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It was a lot of work. The most advanced technology we had in 1980 was the pager.
How many did you have?
I just had one.
You just had one because you were just selling real estate. And now, in 1980, you don't have any of the technology that you have today. So you're out shaking hands and meeting people, right?
Walking the streets, walking neighborhoods.
Really?
Keeping track of prospects on 3x5 recipe cards.
So you would walk up to someone's house and knock on the door?
Yeah, are you interested in selling your home?
And what would people say?
Well, sometimes they might say yes.
Really?
It's just a matter of the numbers. You might have to knock on 100 doors to find one yes.
Right. Well, that's generally the way it is, right?
Right.
Okay. So fast forward to today. You got all this technology and stuff. How's real estate doing you?
Yeah, it's still doing fine.
You busy?
Very much so.
How was the recession for you? How was the fallout in real estate?
Well, the good people in real estate survived.
Mm-hmm. How? What was your trick?
I think it's a matter of changing your perspective,
adjusting,
mm-hmm. Right, and also adjusting your spending habits, and your both in marketing as well as your spending habits personally. And because real estate is a cyclical phenomenon.
Meaning that it's going to go up and down?
It's up and down.
You can't help it?
It's just the way it is.
It has to be that way?
Well, it has been that way. If you look for the last 35 years, there tended to be a cycle of 12 years from one high to the next high, mm-hmm. and 12 years from one low to the next low. Mm-hmm. For example, 1979 or so was a high. 1992 was a high. 1985 was a low. And 1997 was a low. So the last high just was a longer run-up period, mm-hmm. and it went crazy. So should people prepare for that every 12 years? Should they know when they're buying real estate in 12 years the bottom's going to fall out? Well, they should. Well, we hope it doesn't fall out again, mm-hmm. But they should be aware that real estate values do go up and down. And really, people shouldn't be afraid of real estate because it's just like the stock market. It's not timing the market, but time in the market. So being in real estate for the long haul, if someone looks at their whole real estate experience, lifetime, they've come from maybe owning a $16,000 home back in 1965 to today owning a $350,000 home. Is that the same home? No. No, it's not. It's moving up. They've moved up, yes. Now, how can real estate values go down? How can, especially in California? Well, it's market-driven, supply and demand. And so you're asking, how could it go down? Could it go down if there's too much supply? Or it could go down when for investment real estate, for example, when the return on the investment is not as attractive as it could be if they put their money elsewhere. Do you do a lot of commercial? I do some apartments and multifamily units, but I don't do like neighborhood shopping centers and that kind of thing. That's a very specialized area. Right. This is a great time to buy, isn't it? It is. Of course, in real estate, we say it's always a good time to buy. Mm-hmm. But realistically, the best time, if you were timing the market, the best time, the people who bought 2 years ago got in at a very good time of the market. Price-wise, but what about percentage-wise? Interest rates are at an all-time low. I remember back in 1983, or even 82, interest rates had climbed to 17 and 18%.
Wasn't that Ronald Reagan days?
Well, that was, as I recall, he was president at the
He
time.
was, wasn't he?
But I don't think we should go there. But the market continued to slide till about 1985, and in those days we were involved with creative financing. Sellers had to carry the paper. The sellers were the bank.
Really?
So if you wanted to sell your home
In 1985?
in 1985,
People were carrying the paper on their own homes.
yes,
And that was normal?
that was probably the only way they could sell, unless it was either that or a cash buyer. So
Because banks' percentage rates were too high, people didn't want to sign for those?
wouldn't sign for that.
So the people would carry their paper at a lower rate?
They'd carry it at 12% instead
Which
of.
is a lot.
It's a lot, right? In fact, I bought an apartment building myself in 1981 with the seller carrying for 12%, and I was happy.
You thought you really made out, huh?
Right, and then when the bank rates came down to 13%, a few years later, we said, well, boy, we've got to buy now because they'll never get any better than this. And
Here we are sitting at
with
4% right now.
4% interest rates, right.
Wow. How long do you think those are going to stay?
Well, we thought they wouldn't be staying even now, but one of the reasons why they're staying is that some of the foreign countries like our debt, and they are happy with getting a 0.5% return on their money, China, for example. And so as long as we're able to sell our debt overseas at low interest rates, we're going to be having low interest rates on our mortgages.
How's the inventory now in Fresno?
Inventory is up slightly, but about a year ago we had like 2 months of inventory. Now we're probably like 3.5.
How many houses does that equate to?
About 2,000.
2,000 homes for sale in the Fresno area?
Yes.
Wow, there's a lot of real estate agents in this town. 2,000 houses is a lot of houses.
Well, there's
so-
3,000 real estate agents, and if there's 2,000 homes for sale, that means the average agent,
Someone's not selling.
the average agent has 2/3 of a listing.
Right.
So some people have more, some have less.
When people come to see you, you like them to be pre-approved?
Well, that's pretty much essential. If they're not pre-approved when they come to see me, I would, of course, help them to get pre-approved, because that's the number one place to start.
You have someone you work with?
We have a number of lenders here in town that are reputable, and so we try to send our clients that way.
People that are out there looking for a house, Ken, how do they get a hold of you?
They can call me on my cell phone, 559-270-4056, or my office number. Ask for me at London Properties, 436-4000.
Okay. Ken Neufeld, real estate agent for 35 years right here in Fresno. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the second hour of The Buzz. Stick around. Come on, Ken.